The mysterious story begins with the discovery of a young woman's dead body. Her name, Jane. Police find the corpse at a gruesome crime scene where blood is splattered everywhere, and dozens of people have been brutally murdered. But Jane's cause of death completely baffles them. There are no wounds, no cuts, not even a scratch on her body. It's as if her lifeless form had just been gently placed there, calm, still, and eerily mysterious. Perplexed, the police send Jane's body to a specialized autopsy center run by a father-son duo, and from here, the story takes a dark, terrifying turn. As Jane's examination progresses, fear and death slowly tighten their grip around them. But what exactly happens that shakes them to their core? Let's find out. Now, the focus shifts to Tommy and his son Austin, professional coroners who run their family-owned autopsy lab. Tommy's family has been in this business for generations, and their lab is located right inside their home. At the moment, father and son are busy performing an autopsy on a burned corpse and preparing the report. After finishing up, Austin goes to store the body in the freezer. But just then, his girlfriend Emma shows up. The two had plans to watch a movie tonight. Curious, Emma insists on seeing one of the bodies, even though Austin warns her she might get scared. Tommy overhears the conversation and says calmly, "It's okay, son. Let her see one if she wants." Emma picks a random body and notices a small bell tied around its ankle. She asks, intrigued, "Why is there a bell here?" Tommy explains in a low, steady voice. Years ago, people weren't always sure if someone was really dead. Sometimes, a person would slip into a deep coma, and people mistakenly assumed they died. So, they tied a bell to the ankle. If the person woke up and moved, the bell would ring. The practice is rare now, but I still keep it, just in case. Emma smiles nervously, but seems fascinated. After that, she and Austin get ready to leave for their movie date. Just then, the sheriff arrives, carrying Jane's mysterious body. He asks Austin, "Where's your dad? I need to talk to him right away." Realizing it's urgent, Austin apologizes to Emma. "Looks like Dad needs me. I'll finish this case quickly and come back to you." This moment hints at Austin's inner conflict. He has long wanted to leave this job behind, but with his aging father depending on him, he feels trapped. Emma reassures him with a smile, "I'll wait for you," and leaves. Inside, the sheriff explains, "This case is extremely important. I need a full autopsy report by morning. The media will be all over this." Tommy looks at his son and says, "You should have gone on your date. I can handle this myself." Austin hesitates, then smiles faintly. "I'll go later. Let's do this together." And so the autopsy begins. At first glance, Jane's body appears flawless. No wounds, no bruises, no external injuries whatsoever. But as they examine her wrists and ankles, they make a horrifying discovery. Every single bone in those areas is shattered. Even stranger, there's no swelling, no cuts, no bruising, as if her body somehow endured extreme trauma without showing any signs of it. Then, Austin carefully opens Jane's mouth and freezes. Her tongue has been severed from the inside, but not by any external object. Tommy mutters grimly, "She bit it off herself, with her own teeth." Next, Austin notices something lodged deep in her throat, a thin, thread-like fiber. Under the microscope, they confirm it's an ancient, rope-like material. Tommy removes it and sends it for lab analysis. Suddenly, a fly crawls out of Jane's nose, followed by a small trickle of blood. Austin shoos it away and inspects her eyes, only to be stunned. Jane's irises have turned completely gray, something that usually happens years after death. And yet, Jane's body looks as though she died just hours ago. Meanwhile, the radio nearby switches stations on its own and begins playing a soft tune. Neither father nor son notices. Tommy whispers gravely, "Something's wrong here. I've never seen a body like this before." Still with no cause of death, Tommy decides we need to check her heart and lungs. He carefully begins to open her chest. Just then, the radio switches again and plays a haunting melody. "Open your heart. Let the sunshine in." It's almost as if some unseen force is warning them not to proceed. But Tommy ignores it and continues the incision. Inside, they find something unimaginable. Jane's organs are severely burned from the inside out, including her heart, lungs, and internal skin layers, and yet her outer body remains perfectly untouched. This discovery rattles both of them. Tommy continues dissecting her abdomen and pulls out a rare flower. After checking his reference book, he identifies it as a powerful paralytic plant, something that only grows in northeastern countries. He suspects Jane may have come from that region. Going deeper, Tommy finds an ancient cloth inside her stomach containing Jane's broken teeth. The fabric is marked with strange symbols and Roman numerals. Meanwhile, the radio keeps flickering and changing stations, and Austin grows more anxious. He repeatedly begs his father to stop the autopsy and continue in the morning, but Tommy insists on moving forward. Suddenly, Tommy notices strange symbols carved beneath Jane's skin. He carefully peels it back, revealing that her entire inner skin is covered in cryptic markings identical to those on the ancient cloth. Austin whispers horrified, "How is this even possible? Who could carve symbols inside someone's skin?" Suddenly, all the lights explode with a loud bang, plunging the room into darkness. Tommy grabs a backup light, and they both freeze in terror. All the other corpses stored in the morgue are gone. Tommy panics and orders, "Austin, we need to get out, now." They rush upstairs, but the elevator isn't working, so they take the stairs. When they try to escape through the main door, they find it blocked by a massive fallen tree. Tommy locks himself in his office and desperately tries to call the police, but there's no signal. Then, they hear the faint ringing of a bell. Both men go pale. The bells were only tied to dead bodies. Suddenly, an invisible force grabs Tommy and hurls him backward, leaving a deep wound on his abdomen. Austin pulls him up and whispers, "This is all because of Jane. She didn't want us to cut her open, and now she's making us pay. That cloth, the flowers, the broken teeth, someone performed a dark ritual on her." They rush back to the autopsy room, but the door slams shut on its own. The eerie sound of bells grows louder. Austin grabs an axe and smashes the door open, only to freeze in terror. Standing outside is the corpse they had just autopsied earlier, alive and moving. Panicked, they decide the only way to stop this is to burn Jane's body. But when they set her on fire, something horrifying happens. Her body absorbs the flames. Not a single burn mark appears on her skin. Suddenly, they hear the elevator start working again. They rush towards it, but the doors won't close. Out of the darkness, a shadowy figure approaches. Terrified, Tommy grabs the axe from Austin and swings hard. But when they look down, they realize the horrifying truth. He has killed Emma. Emma had returned to surprise Austin, and now she lay dead. Austin collapses in shock and grief. Tommy apologizes, holding his son close, and whispers, "We have to finish this. We have to understand what Jane really is, or we're next." Back in the autopsy room, they perform a deeper examination, this time on Jane's brain. Under the microscope, Tommy gasps in disbelief. Jane's brain cells are still alive. That means Jane was never truly dead. Examining the ancient cloth again, Tommy deciphers the markings, Leviticus 20 and 16th century. He realizes it refers to a Bible passage about witch trials. In the 16th century, countless innocent women were accused of witchcraft and tortured to death. Tommy now understands the horrifying truth. Jane was one of those victims. She wasn't a witch. She was wrongfully tortured, but her suffering never ended. Her body remains alive, trapped in pain, and now she wants revenge. When we cut her open, when we touched her brain, her heart, her skin, she felt it all, and now she's returning every ounce of that pain to us. Tommy locks eyes with Jane's lifeless, open stare and pleads, "Please take me instead. Leave my son out of this." At that moment, Tommy's bones begin snapping, one by one, the same way Jane's were broken. His insides start burning, but his outer body remains unscarred. Jane's body, on the other hand, begins to heal itself. Unable to bear the agony, Tommy whispers to Austin, "Please, son, kill me." Through tears, Austin does the unthinkable. He ends his father's life. Suddenly, Austin hears whispers calling his name from above. He runs toward the sound, reaching the upper gate, but the voice vanishes and the gate slams shut. When he turns around, he sees Tommy's corpse standing upright, eyes wide open. Terrified, Austin stumbles backward, falls, and dies instantly. The next morning, the sheriff arrives with his officers to collect Jane's autopsy report. Instead, they find Tommy and Austin's lifeless bodies. Looking around the scene, the sheriff realizes with horror, the morgue now looks exactly like the first massacre site where Jane was found. Jane's body, meanwhile, lies untouched. No wounds, no burns, perfectly pristine. The sheriff quietly orders her to be sent to another facility for examination. But inside the ambulance, something horrifying happens. Jane's toe twitches. The nightmare isn't over. So guys, should you tie a bell to your own ankle too, just to make sure I know you're alive and not in a coma? Because honestly, I don't see enough likes on my videos. If you're alive, smash that like button. And if you're in a coma, well, drop a comment and let me know.